Like she said, my name is LaTonya Taylor-Rowe. I'm a 4th grade teacher at Highland Elementary in Johnson County. My ARI grant is entitled QR Codes in the Classroom, and I wrote for 3 mini iPads to be able to read and generate QR codes, and boy have we placed QR codes on everything in the classroom. From student and teacher generated videos to students who have created word problems. Students like to share projects, playing different types of mystery games. They generate their QR codes on their own, and also sharing projects with students and parents. And there's 4 different sites that we have found most helpful, and I included those on the handout that I gave you. I included those links on there. And also, if you notice, there is a QR code, and if you will go to that, you will be able to watch a video that my students generated, kind of explaining how they use QR codes. And so that'll give you a little bit more of a student perspective. So let me encourage you to watch that sometime when you get back to your class or at home. I like to use the QR free stuff link, and you can generate a QR code on anything on there, whether it is an email, a text, a video, any types of link that you can use. And once we got our mini iPads, we quickly downloaded the QR reader, and we also discovered Barcodes, because my students like to generate a lot of audio, whether they are giving directions on how to complete a task or complete math problems. And we discovered that Barcodes will allow you to use their own voice instead of typing out and using a computer-generated voice. And it allows, the length is unlimited. And it will generate their own QR code without you having to copy and paste that link back in. And also, I use clickers, and my students love clickers in the classroom. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about clickers in a moment. Now, about 2 or 3 years ago, I decided to incorporate the flipped classroom, my version of it, into my class. And I discovered that it was so hard for me to give directions and replay those videos that students didn't watch the night before, and create mini lessons and keep parents informed of what was going on into the classroom. So I had a problem, and when you have a problem, what do? You go to the internet anymore. And so I quickly went to the internet and discovered QR codes. And my students adapted to using QR codes a whole lot quicker than I did. And they become very independent learners. And I found myself becoming the student, and they became more of the teacher, because they were generating QR codes as they did a video on how to create or how to complete a multiplication problem or a division problem, or videos on podcast on actually solving math problems that we did in class. And so my students started using the QR codes for all different kinds of things, and they actually decided that they can create their own word problems in math. And so they started working in small groups and sharing what they were creating. And at the bottom of a lot of the pictures that they were using and the problems that they were doing, they would generate that QR code, and they would be able to answer those using those in groups, and had a lot of discussions, and found out that maybe they hadn't gave the correct answer, and so they kind of helped each other out. Also, my students created using another app that we have, and it's called Captions, and they created their own word problems and generated their QR code with their answer on the bottom. We hang those up in class, and the kids are able to just, whenever they have free time, or sometimes we use them in class for different things, they can go and do those. Now, we also have the QR cube. And so these have lots of different things on them. They can have word problems on them, or also they might have answers, and students have to create a problem that would go along with those answers. Mystery games, just a variety of things that we've used these for. And we've also used on student practice sheets that they have in class, students may have a scavenger hunt where they have to find the correct answer to go with their math problem. Or I've also used it as self-checking. So it'll have a QR code there. They can complete the math problems and just scan to see if they have the correct answer, and they get immediate feedback without me having to try to always run over there to them. They can do that independently on their own and discover what they've done wrong. Now, I've also included on some of the sheets that I do, and I know that the students are going to struggle with some of the concepts, or they may need redirection. I will create a video and hook that QR code right to that sheet, and they can go and scan that and watch those videos. And so it's very helpful to me. I could pull some kids and be working with them, and instead of these kids all the time saying, Miss Rowe, and basically all they needed was just the directions reworded for them, or that they needed just a little bit more encouragement, maybe a video or a little mini clip of exactly what was expected. Some of the other things that we like to do are do the mystery comic characters. Students learned about torn paper art, and they created their own character that looked like them, and so then they generated a QR code that told a little bit of information about them, and the students can run through and scan those. They also learned that a lot of the projects that we do are digital programs, such as Powtoons, videos that they do. They might do a Voki or a blog, and some of my parents were saying, I don't get to see that in product. And so they were generating QR codes so that they can take those home, or they can share with other people within the school. And a lot of times we have parents who have to wait in the hall during parent conference, so to entertain them, we may generate QR codes for all of the Powtoons or vodcasts or different things that they do, and we hang these in the hall, and the parents run through and can scan. And that improved what we were getting as far as our Powtoon, because they would see one that was maybe better than what their child had presented, and so if they helped their child the next time on a project, they were able to help them improve that. Now, one of the other things that we talked about was using the quick response system clickers. How many of you all with your 21st century technology got clickers? And I had those in my class, I still have them, but it is so hard for me to find time to generate a turning point, get it up there, and then I had trouble with my students when they could click them. We were having to hold them up and try to figure out who was doing that. This is so simple. Each child gets a QR code, and you'll notice they're all different. They're not the same. And it has A, B, C, or D on there. So I generate questions, they pop up on the screen, and the students answer A, B, C, or D. And if it's A, that is what you will have up on the top. And I just take my iPad, and I just scan the classroom, and it automatically will show that they have answered. And then if I want to share what they've answered, then I can do that. But if I want to keep that for later and be able to assess, then I can pull up Johnny's and see what he answered for all 10 questions for me. This has been really wonderful too. If I'm introducing a new concept and I want to see how well they're paying attention, if they've understood what I'm talking about, then I can ask them to pull out their clicker. And as I go along and introduce something, I can ask them a question that can give me immediate feedback. And if I look up here and see that they have been unable to answer a certain amount of questions, then I know what I need to go over and be able to present those. And the kids have been able to put QR codes. They put them in the hallway. We've done doors and everything where they put those on there. And it's been kind of fun too, because my hallway is also a pickup hallway where the students wait for parents to pick them up. And they are from different grades within our building. And they'll come in and ask me if they can have my iPads so that they can scan those and watch those while they're waiting. And we've also had a few of the other kids in lower grades that have used QR codes to generate some of their projects. So it's kind of branching out. So let me just encourage you to have a scan-do attitude and incorporate QR codes into your classroom, because like I said, it's been very helpful to me, and it's as if I have more than one of me in the classroom, which makes it very helpful when introducing concepts and being able to work in small groups. Any questions? I feel like I've ran a marathon.
That was like perfect time.
Thank you.